So once again, a very welcome to all of you for joining us. And we're going to discuss on a very important topic today. As you would have seen on the event that was posted, how to be happy when we are going through difficult times. I'm pretty sure this would be a, um, a very, what you would say, common question that we may have. So today we are going to discuss from this Vedic literature, which is called the Bhagavad Gita. We've been doing this every Tuesday around this time. And today's topic would be how to be happy when we are going through difficult times. Well, in the Bhagavad Gita, which is the essence of the Vedic literatures of the Vedas, in the second chapter, verse number 66, it is in Sanskrit. The Supreme Lord says, Nasti buddhir ayuktasya, na chayuktasya bhavana, na cha bhavayataha shantir, ashantasya kutaha sukham. The translation for this is, one who is not connected with the Supreme can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be happiness without peace? So, from this, we can understand that the formula for happiness is given to us. All we need to do is get connected. Last week, we talked about the yoga ladder, and the word yoga means to connect with the Supreme. So, when we follow this instruction from the Bhagavad Gita, which is actually a formula for happiness, we first need to connect with the Supreme Lord. If we do not connect with the Supreme Lord, then there will be no transcendental intelligence and the mind will not be steady. So if we don't have these two things, transcendental intelligence, not the material intelligence that we use on a daily basis. If we do not have transcendental intelligence and we do not have a steady mind, then there will be no happiness. Or you can say there will be no peace. And without peace of mind, one cannot be happy. So now the question arises, how can one be peaceful? I'm sure you all also have that question in mind. How can we have peace of mind? Well, in the Bhagavad Gita, as I was showing you this book, this Bhagavad Gita, in the 5th chapter, the very last verse, we have the formula, which is called the peace formula. And the Sanskrit goes like this: Bhoktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka maheshwara suhritam sarvabhutanam natva mam shantim rechati. This is what it says. What does it mean? A person who is in full consciousness of the Supreme Lord, knowing the Lord to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, and also understanding that He's the Supreme Lord of everyone. He's not only that, He's the benefactor and the well-wisher of all living entities. When we have that kind of consciousness, then we will be peaceful. This is the peace formula. And not only that, we will attain peace from the pangs of material miseries. So Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to connect with the Supreme Lord. How? Through the transcendental knowledge that we are receiving from the Bhagavad Gita, and also through mantra meditation. This is very important because our minds are not under control. They are not steady. So the mind needs to be controlled with intelligence, and the intelligence need to be fed with transcendental knowledge. Then the mind will start becoming steady, and in that scenario we will be able to be happy and peaceful. Now, to be happy, there must be a process, right? How? The first verse that I recited from the Bhagavad Gita, there the Supreme Lord says that we need to be fully conscious of Him. That is the process. And just like we know that we are spirit souls, right? We don't call ourselves just the souls, but we call ourselves spirit souls. The Supreme Lord is spiritual. We are His part. So automatically we are also spiritual, right? So if we understand who we are, who the Lord is, and what is our relationship with Him, then we will understand that He is the ultimate beneficiary. He is the Supreme Lord. He is the well wisher. Then we will be happy and peaceful. Right now, our mentality is that I am the enjoyer, I am the controller, even though we are not able to even control our own body. Can we control the blinking of our eyes? Can we control from aging? We are getting old every year, 1 year older. Can we control that? We are unable to control diseases that come to us. We are unable to control the miseries that come to us or the difficult times that come to us. So we are not in control of anything. It is the Supreme Lord who is the ultimate controller. We are just, what we can say is, we are subordinate to Him. We are serving. Don't we serve every day? We serve our spouse, our children, family, country. We even serve the boss on a daily basis, right? So we need to understand that not even a blade of grass moves without the permission of the Supreme Lord. If we accept that fact, if we accept the fact that I'm subordinate to the Supreme Lord, if we understand my constitutional position is to serve the Lord, and He is the one to be served, then we will attain peace. And in the verse that we read today, He is our well wisher. How? Because in the Bhagavad Gita it is stated, the Supreme Lord Krishna says that Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Sanivishto. This is in Sanskrit. Mataha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. What is the translation? He says, I am situated in everyone's heart as the super soul. He is there because He is our well wisher. He is there in our heart to guide us, to help us, to show us the way. And guess what? He's so merciful. He is there in the heart of even the animals and the birds and the insects, all living entities. He is there. But he says, Mataha smritir jnanam apohanam cha. He says, I'm there in the heart, but from me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. Now he's given us these three options, and we can choose. The choice is ours. Do we want to understand Him? Do we want His guidance? Do we want to build a relationship with Him? Do we want His knowledge? Or do we want to forget Him? We make the choice, and then He helps us according to our choices. He does not interfere with our minute independence that we have. So once we take on this knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita, which is transcendental knowledge, then we will be able to steady our mind. Our mind goes all over the world. It goes to different places, different times. It is said that we get more than 30,000 thoughts in a day, in 24 hours. So you can imagine how the mind is moving and running from here to there. So we need to steady that mind. We won't need to make the mind peaceful. And the best way to feed the mind is through mantra meditation. I already explained the meaning of mantra. Man means mind, and tra means to free the mind. Free the mind from anxiety or distress or misery or whatever it may be. So when we do the mantra meditation, which means when we chant the holy names of the Lord, that helps us to control our mind. Now, difficult times are usually there all the time, right? We go through difficult times, sometimes to a lesser degree, sometimes to a larger degree, but distress is there, difficult times are there. Now, since the past 1.5 years, we have been going through COVID-19, right? that is a very difficult period. It is like it has brought about so much misery, so much suffering. So many people have lost their lives. So many people are still suffering from this disease, right? So when such a big, difficult time comes in our life, the other difficult times seem to be very small, like they take a back seat, right? We don't feel it that much. But it's important to understand that difficult times are usually always there. So, what do we need to do? We need to learn how to deal with them, how to stay happy in all situations. That is the summary of today's class. Is we all want to be happy, but most of us do not know how to be happy. Sometimes we think that if I buy this, it'll make me happy. If I go there, or if I go on a vacation, or if I change my partner, or if I do this, if I do that, if I get that job, I'm going to be happy. But it's important to understand that happiness has a beginning and it has an end, which means it's temporary. So also difficult situations also are temporary. They come and they go. There's a beginning and there is an end. But generally, what happens, these difficult situations, they make us morose, they discourage us, right? But if only we can understand, get this transcendental knowledge and understand that problems, they come and go. Similarly, happiness comes and goes. In the Bhagavad Gita, there's a very nice Sanskrit verse which says, Matra sparshastu kantaya shitoshan sukha dukkadaha. Says that just as the summer and winter seasons come and go, similarly, sukha and dukkha, happiness and distress, they come and go. So, what should one do? Matra sparshastu kantaya shitoshana sukha dukha agamapaino nityas tams titikshasva bharata. Titikshasva means we have to tolerate. We have to become strong internally. We must have an inner strength. When we are strong internally, then these different miseries or difficult situations that come and go, they will they will not affect us. We will learn how to tolerate them, right? So two things are important. One is taking on the transcendental knowledge and understanding. It's not blind faith, it is understanding how these miseries come about and how to deal with them. And the other thing is to following the knowledge that the Bhagavad Gita gives is to do the meditation on a daily basis. So when we do that meditation, that calms our mind, that makes our mind steady. And then no matter what the situation is, we do not feel morose or discouraged or frustrated. No, we become peaceful. So the best part is that to do the mantra meditation, we don't need to give up anything, right? We don't need to go to a forest or to the Himalayas. We don't need to give up our jobs or family or country, nothing. We can still continue to do what we are doing on a daily basis. It's just we need to change the consciousness. We have to change the way we think, right? Understand the basics and then put it into practice. There is a nice way we could do that is dovetail our activities, focus our activities in the service of the Supreme Lord. Then the external situations will not bog us down. They will not pull us down. You see that then there will be no more fear, no more anxiety, no more frustration, anger, stress. Nothing of that will exist, right? We have heard from the Bhagavad Gita in chapter 3 and 5 how karma works. We all have heard the word karma, right? We all know what is karma. Karma is nothing but actions, the actions that we have performed. All actions have an equal and opposite reaction. Every action has that. So if we have done good actions, there are going to be good reactions. And if we have done bad actions, definitely there are going to be bad reactions. So we cannot run away from those, right? Whatever we've done in the past, we need to face them now or in the future. We need to accept it. Yes, I have done some activities maybe without any knowledge, and now I am facing those reactions, so I just accept them, right? Face them, tolerate them. And it will not be easy to tolerate. For that, we will need a lot of transcendental knowledge. So when the mind is focused on spirituality, right? See, we are spiritual beings. Right now, we are having a human experience in the human body, but actually, we are spiritual beings. That's why we are called spirit souls. We are the parts and children of the Supreme Lord, who is also spiritual, right? So, when we start focusing ourselves on the path of spirituality, when we start focusing on the Supreme Lord, then these anxieties will not really bother us. Then these difficult situations will not put us into anxiety, right? So instead of, reacting to difficult times, it is better we respond to them and not, react in a negative way and not even get affected negatively, right? So for that, we need to increase the spiritual strength. Just like, we have a goal in life. We have a bank balance, we have an account with the bank, and whatever we earn, we try to save, right? We try to increase the bank balance as much as we can, so that we have sufficient funds for a rainy day, in case there is an emergency or whatever. So we similarly, we need to increase our spiritual bank balance as well. The reason we get affected with our external situations is because the mind is weak. The mind is not strong enough. We have not strengthened the mind. We have not increased our spiritual strength. And that is why we are unable to face the external situations. Now, what does it mean to have spiritual strength? It means to balance the life. If we can learn with the help of the knowledge from the Bhagavad Gita, if we can learn how to balance our life, right? Everything starts in the mind, if you have noticed, right? That is a place where everything starts. Thinking, feeling, willing, all that starts from the mind. So, if somehow or the other we can control the mind using our intelligence, and the intelligence will start working only if we feed the intelligence with transcendental knowledge. That is very, very important, because until and unless we have knowledge, we will not be able to really understand what to do, what not to do, what is right, what is wrong. And for that, we do need guidance. Just like anything we do in our lives, whether it is learning music, dancing, wanting to do business, wanting to learn karate, or a software, anything that we want to learn, we definitely need a teacher, right? A teacher who is well educated in that field and also well experienced, or maybe you can call it a certified teacher. Just like when I am unwell, when I go to see a doctor, the first thing that I want to see is the certification, on the wall in the clinic. Is there a certificate that shows that this doctor has been certified to practice, has graduated from whichever university, right? In fact, before we even go to the doctor's office, we do some research. We find out, when did they graduate, how many years of experience do they have, what are the reviews, right? So we take so much care, we do so much research to find someone suitable, someone who can help us, just like the doctor can help us with our body if we have a disease. Similarly, we need a teacher in spirituality as well. Now, this wonderful book, which is the essence of all the Vedic literatures, which is an ancient book, right? This gives us a very simple, very easy process by which we can control the mind, control the senses, use our philosophical intelligence to understand who am I, where have I come from? What am I doing here? Why am I suffering in this material world? How can I break this cycle of suffering? And where do I need to go from here? Right? So, all these questions, they are answered in the Bhagavad Gita. And an intelligent person would want to have answers to these questions, right? So, need to understand that this transcendental knowledge is going to help us. They're going to help us to even face difficult times. They're going to help us how to remain peaceful when we are going through a miserable time. Sometimes there's nothing we can do, right? There is a misery, there is distress, it's a very difficult time, and there is nothing we are able to do. But one thing we can do is in that situation, stay calm and peaceful. And if we can follow the peace formula that is given to us in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse 29, then we will notice that once we are at peace, then we are automatically happy. It doesn't matter what is going on externally in our life. So, the whole purpose is to make our inner self strong. Internally, we need to become very strong. Then we will be able to save ourselves, right? Maybe, some of the situations are such that we want to, solve it or, get rid of it, but we are unable to do. One time I heard in one of the lectures that um, question was asked, do you have a misery right now? Answer is yes. Okay, if you do have a misery, can you do something about it? If the answer is yes, why worry? If the answer is no, why worry? If you're unable to solve it, why worry about it, right? By worrying about it, it's not going to solve it. So, important thing is if we can make ourselves strong internally, then it doesn't matter what the situation is, the mind will still be under control. It is a mind that tells us this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad. But if we don't train the mind, if you remember, I had talked about an analogy, as you can see in this picture. There are horses, there's a chariot, there is a driver, and then there is a passenger in the chariot. So, how can we understand this analogy? Just think that these horses are our senses. Okay, the driver is the intelligence, and the reins of the horses is the mind. The passenger is the spirit soul that we actually are. The real us is the soul, the spirit soul. So imagine if the driver is unable to control the reins, which means the intelligence is unable to control the mind, then what is going to happen? Then the senses, which are these horses, they will go in different direction. And if all the horses go in different directions, the chariot is going to topple. And what will happen to the passenger? The spirit soul is going to be bewildered, will not know what to do, right? So for the senses to be under control, the reins, which is the mind, has to be controlled by the intelligence. And the intelligence can only do that work when the intelligence is fed with transcendental knowledge. So it's important to understand what is it that is necessary to help us to stay happy and peaceful in any situation, whether it is difficult or not, right? What is it necessary? What is it that is required? And the Bhagavad Gita tells us, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dhrida. This is in Sanskrit. Oh, the Supreme Lord says, always chanting my glories, always chanting. Just like when I am diseased and I go to the doctor, and the doctor will give me a prescription and say, okay, these are the 3 tablets you need to take 3 times a day and for X number of days if I want my disease to be removed. So there is a dosage, there's a prescription. So similarly, if we really want to control our mind, if we want to make the mind steady, if we want the intelligence to really work the way we want it to work, then transcendental knowledge is given. But the dosage, the prescription, the medication is mantra meditation. Meditation is very important because meditation can make us more calm and peaceful. And what kind of meditation? Not just closing the eyes and sitting in a very sacred place all by yourself and no sound, nothing. That is also good. But if we can add some very transcendental sound vibrations to that, then that can really control the mind. And that mantra meditation, it helps us to not only cleanse our heart of all the unwanted things, whatever may be inside, anger, frustration, envy, illusion, pride, whatever may be in the heart, in whatever degree it may be, all that can be cleansed out from the heart just by mantra meditation, when we can do that on a regular basis. So it's a process of training the mind, just like we train the small children, right? We discipline them. If we do not discipline the children, then they will go haywire, they'll go here, there, everywhere. So just like we discipline the child, we need to discipline the mind, also train it how to release the emotions in a controlled way and not just an outburst, right? So when we do mantra meditation, the mind becomes stronger. And that meditation is also a food for the soul as well. So no matter what the situation, we should continue to make the mind more and more stronger as much as we can. That is why it is recommended that we meditate on a daily basis. Find few minutes for ourselves, whether it is 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, whatever it may take, we must try and do that on a regular basis. There's a very nice verse which says, Adau Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha Bhajana Kriya Anartha Nivriti. So, what it says is that if somehow or the other we have that basic faith, right? Basic faith that, there is a Supreme Lord and I am the child of that Supreme Lord, and just having that basic faith, if we can do sadhu sangha, which means if we associate with spiritually inclined people, then there will be bhajana kriya, which means we will start following the process. When we do that, then there is anartha nivriti, which means unwanted things which are in the heart, they will all just go away. So, but this needs to be done just like we eat every day, we sleep every day, we go to work every day. So also this practice needs to be followed on a daily basis, chanting the holy names of the Lord. This will help us to clear our mind and bring it to a level of peace. So just like I said, that this mantra meditation also purifies the heart. And when the purification takes place, then we can see things as they are. Then we will understand why this situation I have to face. Why am I in such a difficult situation? We will be able to understand, and we will be able to also kind of face it and deal with it, accept it and deal with it with a very calm and peaceful mind. So this mantra meditation is very beneficial. I have been doing this meditation for over 35 years, and I have seen the difference. And I would recommend that you also can try. You can try. I can do a little bit of mantra meditation now for a few minutes, and you can see how it feels, and then you can try it on a daily basis. And if you chant, do this meditation on a daily basis, maybe next Tuesday you can let me know if it made any difference. Was there any change in your consciousness? How did you feel? Did you feel internally strong? And you definitely will notice a difference. Absolutely, you will notice a difference. So I will chant for a few minutes, and you can try and hear those sound vibrations. Maybe I should type it out to all of you in chat, so you can see what I am going to be chanting. It's very simple. It's Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the chant. And it is very, very simple. It doesn't take too much time. It doesn't take too much energy, but the result is amazing. Okay, I have almost finished typing. Okay, here it is. So you can join me in this mantra meditation just for a few minutes. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So you see, it's very simple. It doesn't take too long, and it is very easy to chant, but the benefits are immense. I mean, they are really a lot of benefits. So my humble suggestion to you is to please chant this, do this mantra meditation as much as you can on a daily basis. So I'm going to stop here.